Black Lives Matter organizer Xahra Saleem was jailed for stealing £30,000, over £30,000. Now, guys, this is not the first time that Black Lives Matter has been accused and found guilty of stealing, mismanaging, and siphoning money from their donors. To be honest with you, I don't think it will be the last either.
Somebody else who was arrested was a Black Lives Matter activist who helped to mastermind the protest, which you might remember led to the toppling of Edward Colston's statue way back when. Back in June 2020, I think it was.
Yes, it was.
Seems a long time ago, doesn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, I remember that.
She's 23. Xahra Saleem is her name. Raised a load of money from donations from these idiots who think giving money to bogus charities is a good idea. Just seen pictures of her there.
Yeah.
I think she was the director of charity called Changing Your Mindset, or Change Your Mindset, and the purpose of this charity was to help the youth. I think that was the purpose of the charity. So what happened to her? I guess she changed that mindset once she saw that money.
Apparently, she didn't do anything with the money other than spend it on herself.
It's amazing, isn't it? Meanwhile, other members of Black
She changed her mindset.
Lives Matter over in America seem to use all the money that they receive from well-wishers to buy mansions.
Yes,
expensive
over in America,
mansions.
yes.
Yeah, this organisation needs...
Yeah, they changed their mindset as well. Okay, guys, listen, Black Lives Matter, they've been around since 2013, but they didn't really gain prominence until 2020, right after the death of George Floyd. That's when they gained prominence, and because they gained prominence, because they became famous, loads of people donated, and they donated millions. Okay, and interesting to note that it's after the donation of millions that we see this corruption, we see all these accusations of fraud, we see the mismanagement of money, we see all of these accusations come forward. So yeah, that's interesting to note.
It really does. She spent nearly 6,000 quid on Uber. That's quite a lot of Ubers, isn't it? Where is she going?
Why didn't she just buy a car?
Well, probably travelling around loads of statues to pull them down.
Starting to rival my son in Manchester. He seems to be taking an awful lot of Ubers at the moment. He hasn't quite racked up 6,000 quid. But she was funding her lifestyle, hair and beauty appointments, takeaways. She got herself a new iPhone, got herself a new iMac. It's brilliant, isn't it? But it just shows you, doesn't it, how absolutely and utterly ridiculously kind of gullible some of these protesters are, and some of these lefties who think, oh, this is a good cause, I'll give this woman some money and she'll be able to save Bristol from the ghastly, horrible white privilege brigade. And all that happened was that she pocketed it all.
But what the thing about Black Lives...
You know, it's interesting to note as well that what's his name? Edward Colston. He was a slave trader, sold slaves for profit, and she took advantage of people's loyalty and generosity for profit. Of course, it's not on the same scale, nowhere near what Edward Colston did. Selling human beings for profit, but the root cause of it is greed.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about Black Lives Matter, of course, they came to the forefront after George Floyd was killed by a copper. What was that now? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? Anyway, the thing about them is, Black lives do matter. Good luck to you. However, what Black Lives Matter have done is turn this statement into something that is perceived to be racist. All lives matter.
The point is,
if you say all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, say you're a racist.
Yeah, I know.
But all lives matter, is that a bad statement to make? I don't think.
All Black Lives Matter managed to achieve is to tarnish their reputation and tarnish their organization. Okay, to the point where no one trusts Black Lives Matter. All right, so that's all they've managed to achieve with all this corruption, with all this stealing, with all this money mismanagement, and all of that. And to be honest with you, Black Lives Matter has a much more darker agenda. All right, they disguise it under under racial injustice, but the truth is that they have a much more darker agenda for the black community and for the world in general. So, okay, now we're gonna react to a BBC News article on this woman, and then we've got one more video to react to quickly, and I have a very interesting point to make in regards to the story. So Black Lives Matter organizer Xahra Saleem jailed over 30k fundraiser fraud. Okay, now so Xahra Saleem is an organizer of a Black Lives Matter BLM protest, has been jailed for using thousands of pounds in fundraising donations on her expensive lifestyle. So she was an organizer for Black Lives Matter during the protest after the death of George Floyd. I think that was back in 2020. Now, Xahra Saleem was a director of Changing Your Mindset. She was 23 years old. She was the director of Changing Your Mindset, a charity for disadvantaged youth in Bristol. And we just saw that she definitely did change her mindset and stole the money. As soon as that money came in, she completely changed her mindset. Now, Saleem gained a high public profile from her involvement as one of the BLM marchers on the day of the protest, which ended with the statue of slave trader Edward Colston being pulled down and dumped in Bristol Harbour. In the days leading up to the protest, Saleem set up a fundraising page. So that was leading up to the protest. That's when she set up this fundraising page to buy personal protective equipment, PPE. So that was the reason for setting up this fundraising page to help legally facilitate the march. All right, so that was the intention behind raising setting up this fundraising page, which took place during COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. All right, and apparently more than £32,000 was raised, and Saleem pleaded guilty to fraud by abusing her position as director of Changing Your Mindset by transferring the money to her personal bank account. So the money went to her personal bank account rather than a business account, and spending it between June 2020 and September 2021. So it took her 1 year to spend all that money. All right. Now, Judge Michael Longman said more than 2,500 payments were made from her account in a constant leakage over a significant period of time, which included living expenses, a new iPhone, hair and beauty appointments, clothing, Amazon orders, takeaways, and taxes. Yeah, she was living the life. All right. In the absence of a business account to pay the money into, which they should have had that set up already. When they set up the fundraising page, they should have had that set up as well. A business account, but obviously they didn't, and all the money went into her account. In the absence of a business account to pay the money into, the decision was made to pay into your own account as an interim measure. Why would that? How long does it take to set up a business account? And why would they make that decision? Okay, all right, the decision wasn't supposed to be permanent, it was supposed to be temporary, but why? And why did it take them so long to question why a business account hasn't been set up yet for you to basically put the money in? The others involved in the project trusted you to hold the funds. This is what Judge Michael Longman says. The others involved in the project trusted you to hold the funds securely until a better judgment could be made. There should have been no reason why the money could not be transferred into that account, but problems became apparent, obviously, because she was spending the money. She stole the money. The money was not transferred, and you made excuses for that failure. Of course she would. What, do you think she was going to admit it at first? Nah, she's going to lie. She's going to lie her ass off. A business account was set up in April 2021. By then, most of that money would have been gone, boy. But the money was not transferred. I wonder why. Saleem admitted the money was gone, but put forward contradictory excuses for its disappearance. There you go. And this is the point that I'm basically trying to make. I believe this was a conspiracy. Why do I believe that? Because I'm sorry, it's a lot of money that was donated, and the fact that people were not on top. I mean, on April 2021, that's when the business account was set up. I mean, come on, it took that long to set up that business account. They really trusted her that much? Don't be silly. Come on, seriously. Why did it take so long? There's so many questions around it. This is why I believe it was a conspiracy. I don't believe it was just her. I believe other people were involved in it. Personally, that's my opinion, not saying it's fact, but that's my opinion. Okay.
I feel like we deserved to see her get some more years because she's completely crushed our dreams and our ambitions, if I'm honest. Like, The money could have been used to do so much more. She came and she offered her help to then rob us. And you could see that obviously everyone that was there, obviously all vulnerable children, we were young. So for her to do something like that, and she was not really much far away from our age herself.
Yeah, everyone was young, but you were so young. She was also young, so I don't really buy that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that everyone there was involved, but I do believe that more people were involved, and she was the one who took the hit. But I do believe more people would have been involved. I mean, come on, all that money, no one's asking questions. Yeah, that's my reaction to the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace.